Tonight we turn our attention to Southeast Asia, a region known for its vibrant cultures and rich history, but now facing a new wave of turmoil that has captured the world's attention. The border between Thailand and Cambodia, long a symbol of both cooperation and tension, has erupted into its most intense conflict in years, shattering the fragile sense of normalcy that once existed here. Artillery shells and bursts of gunfire have pierced the quiet of the countryside, breaking a fragile peace and spreading violence across 5 provinces along the 817-kilometer frontier. The sounds of conflict echo through rural villages, leaving communities on edge. Both nations have responded with overwhelming force, deploying tanks, artillery, and heavily armed troops. What were once ancient borderlands, steeped in tradition and history, have now been transformed into modern battlegrounds, bristling with military hardware and uncertainty. For the people living in these border communities, daily routines have been upended. Instead of tending to fields or running local markets, families now face a desperate search for safety, forced to leave behind homes and livelihoods, in the hope of finding refuge. This latest surge in violence comes after a brief period of calm, following a ceasefire signed in October 2025. That agreement, once a beacon of hope, has now collapsed, as both sides trade accusations of violating the fragile truce, fueling further mistrust and animosity. The international community is watching with growing concern. Diplomats and world leaders are calling for restraint, worried that the conflict could spill over and threaten the stability of the entire region. News outlets across the globe are closely monitoring the situation, highlighting the potential for a wider crisis. Skirmishes that began as isolated incidents have now escalated into widespread battles, with the fiercest fighting reported in the Cambodian provinces of Pursat, Banteay Menche, and Adar Menche. These areas, once peaceful, are now marked by chaos and uncertainty. For thousands of civilians, survival has become the only priority. Families are seen fleeing along dusty roads, carrying whatever belongings they can manage, seeking shelter in makeshift camps or with relatives far from the front lines. Entire villages now stand abandoned, their homes left in ruins. Streets that once bustled with life are eerily empty, as uncertainty and fear grip those who remain behind, unsure of what the future holds. The borderlands, once hopeful for lasting peace, are again gripped by violence and instability. As the world watches, the people of this region can only hope for a return to calm and the chance to rebuild their shattered lives. At the heart of this conflict lies a border that has been a source of tension for generations, a line on the map that is far more than just a geographical marker. It is a symbol of national pride, historical memory, and unresolved grievances. The boundary between Thailand and Cambodia has never been fully agreed upon, with both nations holding on to their own interpretations of where the true border lies. Overlapping claims, especially in areas surrounding ancient and sacred temple sites, have become flashpoints for both countries. These sites are not only architectural marvels but also powerful reminders of each nation's cultural legacy, fueling both national pride and simmering tension. Both sides turn to history for justification, citing old maps, colonial-era documents, and treaties. Yet, the way these records are interpreted often depends on national narratives, making any form of compromise seem out of reach. For Cambodia, these temples are more than just stone and history. They are living symbols of Khmer heritage, deeply woven into the national identity and collective memory of the people. For Thailand, these same sites are seen as an integral part of their own historical narrative, representing centuries of shared culture and influence in the region. Even the smallest incidents, whether a misunderstanding or a minor provocation, can quickly escalate. Both nations view the dispute as a matter of honor and sovereignty, making it difficult to back down without losing face. In the latest flare-up, each side accuses the other of aggression, with officials and citizens alike pointing fingers and demanding justice. The blame game only deepens mistrust and hardens positions. Armies from both countries now operate dangerously close to one another in these contested zones. The risk of misunderstandings or accidental clashes is ever present, and a single misstep could spiral into a larger conflict. This conflict is about far more than just land. It is a struggle over sovereignty, national identity, and the political pressures faced by leaders on both sides. Political leaders face immense pressure from their citizens to appear strong and unyielding, making any move toward de-escalation or compromise politically risky and often unpopular. Until a peaceful resolution is found, the border remains a fragile fault line, one where the risk of renewed conflict is never far away, and where the hopes for lasting peace are still uncertain. Cambodia accuses Thailand of launching coordinated attacks with tanks and artillery, targeting both military and civilian areas. Cambodian officials allege Thai forces fired on the village of Prey Chan and shelled the historic Kanar Temple. They claim Thai airstrikes reached deep into Cambodian territory, damaging infrastructure and terrifying civilians. These actions, Cambodia argues, violate the ceasefire and international law. The government frames its response as self-defense, appealing for international support. From Phnom Penh's perspective, Thailand is the aggressor, targeting civilians and sacred sites. Cambodia insists it is defending its sovereignty and people from unprovoked attacks. Thailand rejects Cambodia's accusations, insisting its actions are defensive. Thai officials claim Cambodian troops are using ancient temples as military bases, forcing Thailand to respond. They argue Cambodia's militarization of heritage sites violates international law. Thailand says it only returned fire to protect its soldiers and territory. The government maintains it seeks peace but cannot ignore attacks on its people. Thai leaders call for Cambodia to stop military activities in disputed areas and to respect cultural sites. For Thailand, the conflict is about national security, not aggression. They insist their response is measured and necessary. The message: Thailand is defending, not invading. The human cost is mounting on both sides. Cambodia reports at least 10 civilian deaths, including an infant, and dozens more injured. Thai casualties are mostly military, with 8 soldiers killed and many wounded. The violence has forced over 500,000 people from their homes, creating a humanitarian crisis. Families now live in temporary shelters, their lives upended. Farms are abandoned, businesses shuttered, and children's education disrupted. Medical facilities are overwhelmed, struggling to care for the injured. The trauma of displacement and violence will linger long after the fighting stops. The conflict's toll is measured not just in lives lost, but in shattered communities. For many, the future is uncertain and hope is fading. The ongoing conflict is leaving deep scars on both the land and its rich cultural legacy, transforming once peaceful border regions into zones of devastation. The impact is visible not only in the physical destruction, but also in the sense of loss that now hangs over these communities. Cambodian officials report widespread destruction of homes, schools, and roads from Thai shelling and airstrikes. Entire villages have been reduced to rubble, with families forced to abandon their homes and livelihoods. The infrastructure that once connected communities, roads, bridges, and schools, now lies in ruins, making daily life a struggle for survival. Buddhist pagodas and ancient temples, including Ta Krabi and the UNESCO-listed Preah Vihear, have been damaged. These sites, which stood for centuries as symbols of faith and national pride, now bear the marks of conflict, their intricate carvings and sacred halls scarred by violence. The loss of these irreplaceable sites is a devastating blow to local identity and world heritage. For many, these temples and monuments are more than just buildings. They are the heart of their community, holding memories and traditions passed down through generations. Heavy weaponry has left the landscape pockmarked and communities isolated. Fields once used for farming are now cratered and unsafe, cutting off access to food and resources. The sense of isolation grows as families are separated and villages become harder to reach. The destruction of sacred places deepens anger and complicates future reconciliation. For many, the loss of these spiritual sites is a personal tragedy, fueling resentment and making the path to peace even more difficult. Rebuilding infrastructure will take years, but restoring trust and heritage may take generations. The process of healing is slow, requiring not just physical reconstruction but also the mending of broken relationships and the revival of cultural traditions. The damage is not just physical, it's cultural and emotional. Families mourn the loss of their homes, while entire communities grieve for the heritage that has been lost, knowing that some things may never be fully restored. The region's history is being shattered alongside its homes. Each destroyed building represents a chapter of the past erased, leaving gaps in the collective memory of the people. Repairing these wounds will be a monumental challenge, requiring not only resources and time but also resilience, unity, and hope for a future where peace and heritage can be preserved for generations to come. The war's impact extends to the environment, threatening forests and wildlife along the border. Artillery and bombs spark fires, destroy habitats and pollute soil and water with unexploded ordnance and chemicals. Heavy vehicles erode land, making farming harder for those who return. Conservation efforts have halted, leaving protected areas vulnerable to illegal logging and poaching. Environmental recovery will take decades, with risks lingering long after the fighting ends. The quiet casualty of war is the land itself, vital for both people and wildlife. Lasting peace is essential for the region's natural recovery. As violence escalates, the world is urging restraint and diplomacy. The United States, led by President Trump, is poised to mediate, hoping to broker another ceasefire. Previous international efforts, including those by Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, briefly brought peace. ASEAN and the United Nations may also step in, calling for dialogue and monitoring. The goal: pull both sides back from the brink and restart negotiations. International mediators can help build trust and pressure leaders to choose peace over war. The hope is that external calls for calm will give space for compromise. Only diplomacy can end the cycle of violence. Ending this conflict is crucial for millions whose lives are in turmoil. Peace is the only way to stop the suffering and allow displaced families to rebuild. War drains resources from health, education, and development, stifling economic growth. The border should be a place of trade and cooperation, not militarization. Protecting shared cultural heritage like ancient temples requires peace, not conflict. A lasting solution may involve joint stewardship or international oversight of disputed sites. Thailand and Cambodia are neighbors. Peace is their only path forward. Achieving it demands political will, dialogue, and a focus on shared interests. The future of both nations depends on choosing reconciliation over rivalry.